Right, people, what is going on? It is Wednesday, the 19th of August. We're going to be going through the trades I ended up taking today. I took two break evens. One was break even a little bit too quick, which would have ended up running full 75 points. So, not ideal, but it's fine. Right, let's get right into the news. I'm not Keemstar. Am I recording? I am recording. Right. So, two trades I ended up taking today. What was my bias on the day? Coming into the day, I was fully bullish. You might be asking, why is that? Well, for the past 2 days, we've sort of just been generating low resistance liquidity, which is just all this on the left-hand side. We just made a steep move down. We need to see some sort of rebalance. I'd love for us to just come and just rebalance this hourly range, which we didn't end up doing, but which is why I was bullish. So coming into the day, what did we have? Well, we had a pre-market manipulation leg. Might have been manipulation, leg up. So mark out from the low to the high, find OTE. What does OTE align with? We've got a 15-minute gap as well. So OTE aligns with near CE of the 15-minute gap. So that was a key area I personally was looking for. If we go, where are we? Yeah, so on the lower time frame, we'll drop down to the 1 minute because I think I ended up taking this off of a 30-second inversion, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was a 15-second inversion because that's what we had, right? So I took this off a 15-second inversion. So market manipulated up. What did it do? Manipulated down, back up, equalized this range, and then took us down to this 15-minute gap. And we initially saw a reaction off of the 709, which is this middle line here. We manipulated up, didn't inverse this gap, and then proceeded to make an internal SMT, wicking out the 79% extension. And after we took out the 79% extension, I hate this replay mode, bro. You just got to scroll back so far. We got a 15 second inverse to the upside. Now, it might have been a small one. I had a great personality, so it doesn't matter. We took it anyway. So we took it off of this candle closing above because we got the internal SMT. We wicked 79% extension so gorgeously. This is the exact type of trade that I do want to see. I entered this with my normal old risk, so 5 micros, 25-point stop, and we would have taken it all the way up to New York AM high, which was the 930 high, which for us, we'd have only been doing 150 points because that's the max we can get on this eval. But we went break even at the internal high. We also ended up inversing a 30-second, which I was going to wait for more confirmation. But recently, the way we've been moving, it's just more probable to take the lower time frame inversion based on the fact that it just displaces too much if you wait for the higher time frame. So you're much better off just doing that. But what a lot of people ended up taking and what I sort of missed, where people had a bearish bias, was the fact that we came up into this 5-minute gap. So this 5-minute gap could have been what sent us lower. Well, it is what sent us lower, but it didn't align with our model. It wasn't a fib level. It wasn't any sort of key level. We were technically, it was basically doubled up because we were retesting this previously inversed gap. But from what I saw and what many other people saw, we just got manipulation into it after tapping OTE, which is why we entered longs. Got manipulation up into the 5-minute and then saw displacement to the downside. We didn't end up, basically my thought process behind this was, if you would have entered off of this small 1-minute inverse, it would have been tapped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times and finally inverse on the 5th. And then, yeah, to be fair, we did dump, but if you took a trade off of this, oh wow, that's only a 23-point stop. All right, never mind. Yeah, trade of the day, apparently. I think that's what Blake took, and I saw a few other people take shorts off of that as well, but it's fine. Anyway, then second trade of the day, so we were 1 break even on that one to get rid of a few pointless drawings. We don't need that. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. don't need that anymore. Okay, so 10 a.m. opens. What does 10 a.m. do? We've got this initial 5-minute rejection wick from sweeping out an hourly low, creating an SMT off the hourly low, and was it a fib level? I don't believe it was, but basically we swept an hourly low, got an SMT off of that low, and got a 5-minute rejection wick from that. You can tell it's a rejection wick because we wicked up and then the next candle after it was bullish, so that's a respective area. What I wanted to see initially, in like an ideal world, which I know hasn't really been going our way recently, but in an ideal world I wanted to see manipulation down into this, because from the rejection wick we then also got a little leg up, which if you draw the fib from the high to the low, which I'm attempting to do, there we go. If you draw the fib from the low to the high, we can see we've got OTE, the 709 aligns nearly exactly with CE of this 5-minute rejection wick. So that's a highly probable area, but with the timings, 10 a.m. did open. I wanted to see 10 a.m. open, manipulate into this, break above 10 a.m., retap 10 a.m., and then go higher. But we didn't end up doing that, so we ended up coming and tapping 10 a.m. before we hit the 709. Now you'll see executions here. What went wrong here? So basically, from the leg up, we then manipulated down. 10 a.m. aligned with CE of this range. So that's highly probable, but the thing is with 10 a.m. you want to see manipulation lower, so I wanted us to manipulate here, go higher, break above, retap, and then look for longs, because I was still bullish, especially after we swept out that hourly low and there was a big SMT off of it. Respect from this rejection wick would have been all the confirmation I needed. So you could say this was a bit of a FOMO trade, just because I saw that we got a very bearish reaction from this candle tapping 10 a.m, which was also a 1-minute gap, which was also OTE. Those are 3 things on my bingo card that I look for. But what happened? Because it wasn't a good setup and I took it sort of off of a whim, I was sort of sat there and I took it just hesitantly. Because not often 10 a.m. breaks below, retaps, and then goes lower. Like it normally manipulates, breaks through, and then like there's different ways of trading it. But basically, we come up, tap 10 a.m., get a big rejection off it, and then I enter off of a retap of this, technically a 1-minute rejection wick, but not really, because the candle after it hadn't closed yet. So the real rejection wick would be after this candle closed. So yeah, took it. Went break even too early. I went break even as soon as this candle here turned black. As soon as it turned black, I put my stops to break even, and then we literally came up, ticked it to the tick, and then proceeded lower. If I'd have waited like another 5 seconds to put my break even, it wouldn't have got hit, which is a bit annoying, a bit unfortunate, but it's fine. You can't rush the process. Would have ended up running even if you'd have just taken it for. Well, I would have only targeted 75 points, but you could have taken it to low-hanging fruit, which would have been 88 points, which would have been a 1 to 6 with a 15-point stop. So could have done that. Hindsight, once again, is always 20/20. We haven't really done much since. The red line on the screen is true day open. We didn't really reject off of that. We're coming back down, hovering around 10 a.m. But yeah, $1.70 on the day, 2 break-evens. Not what we want to see really after a break-even and a loss yesterday. But this is what the P&L is looking like on the month. So we've had this eval from the 7th, week 2. So first week on the eval totaled 747.80. Week 3 we came up, we had 3 break-even days and then 1 winning day, which was 900. And then this week so far, we had yesterday, which was a break-even and losing day, and then today, which was 2 break-evens. Total on the week being minus 327.70. So the eval's floating at a comfy like 1.3k profit, so pretty much nearly half past, which is obviously what we do like to see. But the thing about trading evals, which is really annoying, you obviously have to get a certain amount of money. Like that's the whole point of them. You have to get the 3k profit target without going to the max loss limit, which can be a bit annoying, because the way I trade and the way I always like tell people to trade is not to look for the money. Like, never look at your balance, never look at your P&L. Like, it's always, did you catch the move in the market, yes or no? And if you just look at that, you will end up profitable. So, yeah, anyway, that is the trade recap for today. I hope you did enjoy. Also, sorry for the very intimate camera angle. My camera might have been too small for that whole thing, but it doesn't matter. Right. I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow and Friday bring good fortune. If not, we're just waiting till next week. FOMC is going on in about 22 minutes. Taylor Swift. We'll see what that brings. Might have some data highs and lows to target tomorrow. But apart from that, I will see you all later.